pharmaceutical and such other areas. But this is the first big diplomatic push that is being made by India ever since the Assad regime was overturned. Also important to keep in mind that this is a middle-level diplomat that is heading the delegation, because India, as I said, is still testing waters as to how it is going to now look at going forward. Extremely important, on 8th of December is when the Assad regime was overturned, and 9th is when India did evacuate several of its people from there. About 77 people were evacuated by India after the Assad regime fell, and now the first major diplomatic steps being made by India to be able to now assess how it will go ahead in terms of its relationship with Syria. Extremely significant, comes in, as I said, after India evacuated the 77 people between 10th and 11th of December. 8th of December is when Bashar al-Assad departed from Syria. He and his father actually ruled Syria for about 50 odd years, and now is when the interim government came on the 13th of March, and now the country is expected to hold its first parliamentary election under the al-Shara administration in September. So ahead of that, ahead of the elections that are set to take place around mid-September, India's first key diplomatic steps being taken as far as how it is now going to engage with the al-Shara government. The diplomatic push is an extremely significant development as far as India is concerned, and India is hoping that from here on it continues to have a significant play as far as the entire region is concerned. Those equations changed when the Bashar al-Assad regime was overturned, but now India is making those very important steps forward in terms of ensuring that it continues to have a major play in the entire region. All right, let's now look at the other important story that we are tracking on the show, which is well, if you're planning a trip to the US later this year, well, starting 2nd of September 2025, the State Department is now coming out with tighter set of visa norms for all categories. The US has tightened its non-immigrant visa norms, including conditions for interview waivers come the 2nd of September. And this is for across the board all categories, and in fact has even done away with age exemptions that were there. For those who are under the age of 14, those who are over the age of 79, all of those exemptions have also been done away with. So you do need a visa interview to be actually eligible to get an interview, to get a visa later on. So you have to have an interview process. That exception has also gone away, and barring those very few exceptions, everybody now needs to have an interview, an in-person interview, to be able to qualify to get a visa. And that's really the big question that we are putting out, viewers. Let's put that out for our viewers joining in right now as to why is this so significant. First and foremost, will this make the entire visa process longer? Because now you're going to wait for your interview as well. Even renewal is going to take time. The second key question that we're putting out, what is the ultimate goal of these multiple rounds of screening that are happening? Even for those who are up for renewal, renewal means that you've already undertaken a certain process of screening in the first time, but you want now, the Trump administration wants to do that all over again. Third fact, will H-1B visa delay impact companies' plans? H-1B, India actually has upwards of 2 lakh issuance of H-1B visas every year, and will that have an impact? And let's put that out as well. And in fact, the bottom line, viewers, as far as this entire issue is just this, which is that 2,07,000 has been the amount of H-1B visas granted to India every year. These are this category of visa holders add to the American economy. When the entire visa process gets delayed, it has a larger impact on the American ecosystem as well as companies' plans as well. Second, what is the logic of being able to now have interview after interview is the key question, because what one sees is it's actually a noose that's being tightened around all those who want to now come to the US. First, there is screening of social media. Then there is mining of all personal details that has to be done. Now there is in-person interview. Age exemptions have also been done away with. This is the new normal in America and the world over. Now people need to budget for that. What is the objective of this screening in the name of national security is a separate question altogether. But one thing is for sure, it is going to lead to more delays, and we need to now be able to budget for that. All right, viewers, the other story that we are tracking on the show, which is, well, bringing parents to Canada permanently is one of the many dreams of sons and daughters. After becoming permanent residents themselves, the Canadian federal government has officially reopened the parents and grandparents program for 2025. Basically, since 28th of July, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, that is the IRCC, has begun issuing invitations to apply for permanent residents and Canadian citizens who wish to sponsor their parents or grandparents. So the impact of this is going to be about 10,000 families will be able to be reunited when they can get their parents and grandparents. How much of this will impact specifically Indians is a figure that we don't know so far, but 10,000 does indicate that given the fact that Indians form a large part of the diaspora there, it could be a significant amount for Indian families there as well. The IMF has raised India's economic growth forecast upwards to 6.4%, citing a more favorable global economic environment. And it's a huge push that's coming in for the Indian economy, which says that that India will continue to be the economic engine for the world, lifting the global economy. And IMF has also increased and revised upwards the global economic guideline as well. The forecast for the world economy has increased, and a large part of that has to do with India. Let's play out the soundbite that tells you more on that.
We have actually quite stable growth. In 2024, the growth outcome was 6.5%, and we project for 2025 6.4%, as well as in 2026. And the reason for this upward revisions to growth is because of the common factor that Pierre-Olivier talked about. The suspension of higher tariff rates basically is the main driver. And on the inflation front, we also had some downward revisions. What has been the driver of this relatively stable growth is the fact that there has been a reform momentum supporting robust consumption growth and a push for public investment.
All right, viewers, a quick break. We return with lots more on the other side of India Global. Stay with us.
Cricket updates brought to you by Remitly. Send money home safely with Remitly.
Those weeks that he came in were the 3 weeks that I could be his little girl again. Nothing I can do will repay Marie Curie for doing that for me. The amazing gift that they gave me was I was there at his last breath. He was there for my first. I will give everything back that I can to the hospice that gave me so much.
Give better end-of-life care to all. Get your free will guide today.
It feels good knowing that your future's in hand. Evlo can offer you a loan from £1,000 to £15,000, whether it's for home improvements, new appliances, a car, or for some of life's big moments. So even if you've had problems with credit before, Evlo looks beyond your credit score and always takes a case-by-case approach. Visit evlo.co.uk to get your conditional decision in minutes. Evlo, your future in your hands.
Hiya. Americano, please. Your house blend. Splash of oat milk.
Are you going to do this every time?
Nescafe Azera Americano.
So you're paying contactless, or...?
Irresistibly smooth barista-style coffee at home.
No child should suffer the torture of trachoma, but so many are in pain right now. Nananga's lashes have turned inwards. They rip and tear away at his eyes. Pamelo's sight could be gone forever. He's just 3 years old. Kofanga screams for his mother. His eyes are so infected that he can't even see her. For so many children in the world's poorest countries, trachoma is torture. It's a painful infection often spread by flies, and it's destroying children's eyesight. But it could be stopped if you help today. By calling 0800 021 3925 and giving £2 a month to Sightsavers, you can help make sure children get the treatment they desperately need. You'll help us bring them the medicines and the care that can treat infections. And that means you'll be helping to save children from the torture of trachoma and a life of blindness. Please help us reach them. Call 0800 021 3925, text C7 to 82727, or go online and give just £2 a month now. Because we need you to help save the sight of children like Nananga. We need you to help save them from the torture of trachoma.
The other big story that we are tracking on the show, which is what's happening as far as Bangladesh is concerned. Bangladesh continues to be on the brink, and the one thing that we can say with complete certainty is that the Hindu minority continues to be targeted by mob violence repeatedly. In the latest, a dozen homes belonging to Bangladeshi Hindus have been damaged by a mob over the weekend in northwestern part of Bangladesh. The violence erupted on Saturday after a 17-year-old Hindu boy allegedly made some derogatory remarks. The response was that there was a complete mob violence that the Hindu community there in that area had to suffer. Police have made some arrests. The teenager has been arrested, a third semester student at a private polytechnic institute. Enraged locals carried out attacks, vandalized several homes belonging to the members of the Hindu community on Saturday night and again on Sunday afternoon. The situation is now under control, but the questions remain the same. Let's put that out, viewers. The big questions that we are asking, and frankly, India Global has been asking those questions again and again. On 5th of August, it's going to be 1 year since the Sheikh Hasina's the rule was overturned, and since then, ever since the interim advisor's government started on 8th of August, this trend hasn't changed. But we will keep asking those big questions, viewers. First on your screens, are Hindu homes soft targets in Bangladesh? Should Yunus government do more for Hindu minorities' trust and confidence that has shaken, that has broken in the last 1 year? Is it now incumbent on the government to do more? And what must Yunus do to rein in the violence? At the end of the day, what has happened in the last 1 year is mainstreaming of radical Islamists in Bangladesh. How is it that now Mohammad Yunus is going to rein in those Islamist elements? Lastly, is this yet another low as far as the ties between the two sides? Let's get in Mohammad Rashid Alam Bhuiya, who is an associate professor joining me live on the show. He's an associate professor at Dhaka University. Sir, your first thoughts on the questions that we're posing on the show. Are Hindu homes soft targets in Bangladesh?
Thank you for connecting me on these issues. Like I expressed my this sorrow on the matter of what happened in Rampur. It's the countryside in Bangladesh. So the questions, I think, it's not actually that. I mean, what happening in the at the moment is everywhere in the world. It's not only in Bangladesh. So the certain outrage against the derogatory comments against Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that taken place on the other day, and the communities, particularly the extremist communities, who showed something violence on this regard, and I feel every sorrow on this matter. But it's not that it's always the situation, same thing like that. It's like it's happening. It's not regularly happening. It's happening some parts of the country somewhere, but it's not that overall all the communities in Bangladesh are buying this ideology or buying. I mean, if we have every respect for our prophet, but the showing your response this way is not appropriate. I think if somebody made these derogatory remarks, you should report to the police station. There is a law, there is a cyber act here, and the police will do their investigation and do the necessary things, but not the way you showed your response that the community did. And it's some parts, and it's happening in India, it's happening other parts of the country as well. But I totally
Mr. Bhuiya, no, sir. I gave you all the time to speak simply because I want you to share your thoughts. But when you start generalizing by saying it happens here, it happens there, it happens everywhere, you are normalizing it. Please, sir. I will give you all the time on the show without interruption. provided you answer the question and not normalize it. Let's not normalize this Hindu hatred that has actually peaked in the last 1 year, sir. This is not an isolated instance. You would agree there. This is now a pattern that is developing there. Go ahead.
I think it's not a pattern. I mean, I'm not normalizing. I said this happening couple of times. It's happened. It happened. And do you agree about whether it's happening in India as well? So it's not the general feeling of our community.
No, what is happening in India, sir? No. Again, you're
Bangladeshi.
normalizing it. Again, you're generalizing it. You're giving vague answers. Sir, you're an academician. You're an intellectual. Don't speak like the spokesperson of any party. Don't speak like the interim advisors party. You are an intellectual. You're an academician.
No,
I'm sure a lot of people watching
saying,
this hold you in very high state. Go ahead, sir. Respond to the pattern that is developing of the hatred that is coming to light by certain sections in the Bangladeshi society towards the minorities. And that is coming out in terms of this instance. That's my point, sir.
I probably you didn't observe that I denounce this kind of activity. This kind of response is not expected, and I said I condemn this kind of activity. And I said the person, the community who committed this kind of violence, I denounce their activity. But I said what I said is not the general position of all the Bangladeshis here in Bangladesh. We have a communal harmony for years, for centuries here in Bangladesh. And this kind of tension is taking place. It's not this only one this year. It happened over the years. It's not that only last 1 year that happening. That's I want to tell. It's not expected. It's not should happen. It should not be happening. What I'm trying to say, and that's my position. I'm sorry if I misunderstood, but that's not the position that I'm buying this and I'm normalizing it. But what I'm trying to say, that response that the government authorities did immediately. They inspect the places, they try to restore the communal harmony, the armies, the police officials are there, they try to repair those houses, but it should not be happened, first of all.
Absolutely.
But then the community responses, like the government authority response was necessary. That's what need to be done from the government authority. There is more, I'm not saying that it's not happening in India, it's happening there. It's other parts of the world, but it's not normalizing. It's some sort of community doing this activity. It's not everyone doing this.
Okay.
That's what I'm
Okay, Mr. Bhuiya, thanks much for speaking to me. You'll appreciate I gave you uninterrupted time to make your points, and I appreciate the fact that you said that this is something that must be addressed, and I'm only hopeful that this will be addressed, because it's, as I said, it's been 1 year of the turbulence that continues in Bangladesh with minorities facing
our
the
civil
brunt.
society and government is very watchful on this issue, and we're not buying this extremist ideology. We respect our prophet, but not the way to respond to the minority communities who are our brothers, our sisters. We're living there with centuries, and we have a very good friendship with our friends. They have communities across the different religions. It's not a matter.
All right, Mr. Bhuiya.
There should be appropriate response for the government authority after this kind of movement, and the civil society is supporting this.
We'll leave it there, sir. Thanks much for speaking to me on India Global. Shifting focus now to the other big story that we're tracking. Well, External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar today spoke in Rajya Sabha. He refuted Donald Trump's claims of brokering the ceasefire between India and Pakistan. Remember, there is the Operation Sindoor debate that's happening in the Indian Parliament, and the upper house of Parliament. Dr. Jaishankar refuted the opposition's claims that have been going ad nauseum again and again about Trump playing any role whatsoever. From the floor of the House, the External Affairs Minister fact-checked the opposition. Let's play that out for you.
Mentions in the preamble that the Indus Waters Treaty is done in a spirit of goodwill and friendship. Sir, since 1960, we have had neither goodwill nor friendship. We've had terrorism, we've had attacks on our population, we've had wars. Such a treaty had to be dealt with, and this government dealt with it. उनको फिक्र थी पाकिस्तानी पंजाब, उनको फिक्र जम्मू और कश्मीर के किसानों पर नहीं थी, उनको सर फिक्र राजस्थान के किसानों की नहीं थी, उनको फिक्र हिमाचल पर नहीं थी। No, please. और You'll get your opportunity to speak, please. Sir, उनका कहना था कि संसद का ना हक है कि कितना पानी जाए ना कितना पैसा जाए और सर जो वो कहते हैं कि हमने शांति ये शांति की कीमत थी नहीं सर ये तुष्टीकरण की कीमत थी
That was Dr. Jaishankar making it very clear that as far as the Indus Water Treaty is concerned, he slammed the opposition when the government took the serious measure as far as putting the Indus Water Treaty in abeyance after the Pahalgam terror attack. Shifting focus now to the other important story that we are tracking on the show. Well, it is the latest as far as the earthquake that struck far eastern regions of Russia, where the tsunami rocked the Pacific after the earthquake that took place near the Russian coast. It was actually 8.8 on the Richter scale, and what it has done is that the entire Pacific, parts of Japan, US and Far East in Russia, in parts of China, Taiwan, all have issued tsunami warnings. Tsunami wave over 5 foot have been seen in parts of Hawaii as well, with the Hawaii governor saying that everything is okay so far. A 3-foot high wave hit northeast Japan. 1.9 million people across Japan have been issued after the advisory, the evacuation advisory was issued by authorities. Over 900,000 under evacuation notice in Japan's Pacific coast. Russian district that was hit by waves has declared a state of emergency. Those are visuals, viewers, that tell you how scary the nature's fury could be, even as the sirens were heard after the earthquake came. Days ahead of the self-imposed August 1st deadline date before the tariffs come into effect, US President Donald Trump has stated that the India-US trade deal was working out very well, but hinted at a 20% or maybe a 25% tariff on India. Now, how this is likely to pan out remains to be seen, but India and the US have been negotiating some possibility of a trade deal, but there have been thorny issues that continue today, and the sticky points remain. On the Indian side, India is very clear that it recently concluded a successful deal with the UK on its own terms, and that's the template India wants to follow with the US as well, which is it needs to protect its own interests, it needs to ensure that markets open up for its domestic industry in America, and at the same time, mobility of its people is also not compromised. Those are the three broad pillars that of national interests through which the trade deal with the US is being discussed and debated. Till now, there have been early breakthroughs, but sticking point remains to be seen that on 1st of August, when the deadline comes in, will there actually be these kind of tariffs as Donald Trump is saying, or could there be some sort of a possibility of having a breather? All right, turning attention now, India and America have united to launch DISAR, the world's most expensive civilian Earth imaging satellite that's built in California and Bengaluru and set to launch from Sriharikota. In fact, NDTV's science editor, Pallava Bagla, has been tracking this very closely for us. But let me tell you, viewers, as far as the details of the satellite is concerned, is that what we know so far, that NASA and ISRO have come together. It's a synthetic aperture radar Earth observation satellite built jointly by NASA and ISRO and to be launched by GSLV Mk2 rocket. And the satellite weighs about 2,300 kilos and features 12-meter diameter antenna and to be placed in the 747-kilometer orbit, and it's the most expensive satellite worth $1.3 billion. With that, it's a wrap on the show. Thanks so much for watching this edition of India Global.
Discover the finest quality made-to-measure blinds, shutters and curtains at Blinds Direct. A huge selection of beautiful window dressings to suit every room. Handmade here in the UK with a 5-year guarantee for your peace of mind. Order your free samples today and choose your perfect design. Exclusively online, delivered direct to your door. Shop now for an extra 20% off and free delivery at blindsdirect.co.uk.
Now that retirement is here, it's time for me to focus on the things that really matter in life. The first thing on my list, making sure my loved ones can afford things like funeral costs when I'm no longer around. That's why I'm looking into over 50s life insurance from British Seniors.
Welcome to British Seniors, the UK's #1 rated provider of over 50s life insurance. How can I help?
Hi, I'd like a quick quote, please.
Depending on your age, your loved ones can get a cash payout up to £10,000, and the cover is in place for your whole life.
Sounds great.
We're proud to offer our seniors lifetime guarantee. With 100% of claims having been paid, we guarantee your premiums will never go up and that you'll speak to one of our specialists in the UK.
Wow, that's great to hear.
It couldn't be easier to apply. UK residents aged 50 to 80 are guaranteed to be accepted, and you can arrange everything in a matter of minutes. There are no medicals or blood tests. Prices start from just £4.52 a month for £1,000 of cover.
That's less than I thought. That money could help cover my funeral costs or be a gift for my grandson. I'll do it.
As the UK's #1 rated provider of over 50s life insurance, we're proud to protect thousands of families across the UK. We're rated excellent by Trustpilot and also rated platinum by FIFO. Plus, when you sign up, you'll receive a £135 gift card and free 24/7 GP advice and health services.
Be proud to protect your loved ones with British Seniors. To get a free life insurance quote today, call our UK team on 0800 977 6391 or visit britishseniors.co.uk.
Sometimes it's the little things that remind us of them. Stay close, even when you're far apart. Send money worldwide with Remitly.
It feels good knowing that your future's in hand. Evlo can offer you a loan from £1,000 to £15,000, whether it's for home improvements, new appliances, a car, or for some of life's big moments. So even if you've had problems with credit before, Evlo looks beyond your credit score and always takes a case-by-case approach. Visit evlo.co.uk to get your conditional decision in minutes. Evlo, your future in your hands.
Visit bingoaliens.com/bingo for a cosmic range of bingo games, taking bingo to another dimension at bingoaliens.com/bingo.
The withdrawal of her letter, or she will be facing legal action in a matter of 3 days ever since that notice has been delivered to her. Let's get you the latest. A very good afternoon. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Divya Vadva, and our top story is Rahul Gandhi continuing his attack when it comes to Prime Minister Modi, asking why is he not calling out Donald Trump. Do remember yesterday he had said that why is the Prime Minister not calling, it is the President of the United States, Donald Trump, for what he has gone on to say 29 times over, that he's the one who established the ceasefire between India and Pakistan. Now Rahul Gandhi is saying why is the Prime Minister not calling out his lies. Now he's also gone on to say that if he does that, the truth will finally come out. Let's listen in to Rahul Gandhi.
Prime Minister has not said that Trump is lying. It's obvious what has happened. सबको मालूम है. बोल नहीं पाए. That is the reality. नहीं कि भी सच्चाई है ना. अगर पीएम ने बोल दिया, तो फिर वो खुल के बोलेगा. और वो पूरी सच्चाई रख देगा, तो इसलिए नहीं बोल पाए. नहीं अभी क्या होगा, अभी वो कह रहा है. वो कह क्यों रहा है? क्योंकि वो अपनी ट्रेड डील चाहता है, तो वहाँ पे दबाएगा इनको. आप देखना कैसी ट्रेड डील बनती है.
And of course, we have Aishwarya, my colleague, joining us to get us the very latest on this. Aishwarya, of course, Rahul Gandhi there attacking the Prime Minister yet again, saying that he's unable to speak on Donald Trump, and that is even though Donald Trump has gone on to make those claims 29 times over, that he's the one responsible to stop the war between India and Pakistan.
Aishwarya getting us details of what Rahul Gandhi has said today. Rahul Gandhi there, Aishwarya saying, really questioning the Prime Minister and saying, why is the Prime Minister not calling out the lies of Donald Trump? Are they lies, or is Donald Trump really speaking the truth? Aishwarya, get us the details.
Top union ministers of the Modi government were stated on the floor of the House since yesterday. We have heard from Home Minister to External Affairs Minister and Prime Minister himself that there was no foreign leader who contacted India to stop the war after the Pahalgam terror attack and Operation Sindoor that was launched by India, and that makes very clear that there was no involvement of the foreign leader. What else the government can say? Perhaps.
And let's just listen into what S. J. Shankar, in fact, I had to say, S. J. Shankar has gone on to say that basically that India was in touch with a lot of countries, and of course, he's also gone on to reiterate that Prime Minister Modi did not speak with President Trump, and that is a conversation that did not happen till the 16th of June from the 22nd of April. Listen in.
On the 9th of May, Vice President Vance called up the Prime Minister to warn him that there was, in the American assessment, a massive Pakistani attack which would come in the next few hours. Prime Minister listened and made it very clear that if anything like that happens, it would get a fitting and appropriate response from our side. Now, a few hours later, that happened. And then, sir, that fitting and appropriate response also happened. There was no cause between Prime Minister and President Trump. सर, मैं उनको कहना चाहता हूं, वो कान खोल के सुन लें कि 22 अप्रैल से 16 जून तक एक भी फोन कॉल प्रेसिडेंट ट्रंप और प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी के बीच में नहीं।
And let's just get you the latest when it comes to the Chief Minister of Assam upping its ante against Gaurav Gogoi, raking up the Pakistan link again. The Assam Chief Minister there saying we'll get an NIA to probe the matter. This is the Chief Minister threatening to probe Gaurav Gogoi's wife, and this is in regard to her foreign citizenship, and that is the case that has been raked up again by Hemanta Biswa Sarma. This is a day after Amit Shah's Pakistan swipe. Now, Amit Shah to Gogoi has said that, basically that he has visited Pakistan many times, and it is the BJP MP claiming that Gogoi had visited Pakistan 90 times over and that his wife was on the payroll of Pakistan. Let's listen into what Amit Shah had to say.
कभी गए हो आप पाकिस्तान? तो कई बार गए हो गोगोई, आप सीमा पर गए हो? पाकिस्तान तो कई बार गए हो, फिर से बोलता हूं, सीमा पर गए हो, सीमा के माध्यम से पाकिस्तान गए हो? हमारे जवानों की कठिनाई देखो साहब, -43 डिग्री में पहाड़ पर रहकर नदी नालों के बीच में चौकी करते हैं। कोई घुस गए तो क्या हुआ? कोई घुस गया वो बचेगा नहीं। यहाँ हम उसको या तो अरेस्ट करेंगे या तो एनकाउंटर में वो मारा जाएगा, बचेगा कोई नहीं।
Akhilesh joining us to get us the very latest on this. Akhilesh, claims being made in regard to the citizenship, talking about how the wife is on the payrolls of Pakistan, how he's been to Pakistan so many times over. Take us through the details.
Well, this is going to be a big election issue as far as Assam is concerned. The BJP has been alleging that Gaurav Gogoi's wife has a connection with Pakistan, and she has been there for many times. And in fact, yesterday, Home Minister Amit Shah also saying that Gaurav Gogoi has also visited Pakistan many times. So now the Assam government says that this matter can be referred to the National Investigating Agency, NIA. This matter can be given to NIA in the month of September. Remember, the government is already talking about forming an SIT to look into all these allegations, but the investigation can be given to the NIA, saying that it has a very complex situation because there are many factors which have to be looked into, and that is why NIA is the competent authority as far as this investigation is concerned, and that is why this matter can be given to NIA. This is what sources are indicating to us.
And of course, it was the Chief Minister of Assam hitting out at him, alleging that the Congress leader is acting on behalf of Pakistan, calling him a disgrace to the state. This is after Gaurav Gogoi had criticized the Defence Minister Rajnath Singh for not answering basic questions on the Pahalgam attack. Let's just get you the latest from Tamil Nadu, and this is dishonor killing that is being reported, and this is justice for Chennai techie. We're talking about Surjit, who was hacked to death. This is the Chennai techie, and the police have now invoked Gunda's Act against the accused. This was the man who was hacked to death, the sister's friend. Let's get you details of what really happened here. The sub-inspector couple of Sarvanan and Krishna Kumari booked for the murder along with their son for the honor killing of Kevin Selva Ganesh. This is, let's get you details on this case. We have Sam Daniel joining us. Sam, take us through the latest in this case.
The dishonor killing of a Dalit techie in